on? Welcome to Thursday Live, the late edition. Um, yeah, what can I say? It's been nuts. So I've been running around, and then I kind of caught up with things and realized that it is after 1 o'clock, which is when I said I would go live. I can go live now. That is a thing on YouTube that normally my I'm all fuzzy. It's normally a thing that you need a certain number of subscribers to do to go live from a mobile device, which is what I need because I'm in Massachusetts. So I have those numbers finally, and yeah, so here we are. So I'm in the studio. Bobby, what's up, buddy? So I'm hanging out, not in the studio, but in my dad's workshop, which is fun. And I'll be in Massachusetts for a little bit, so yeah, so that's what we're going on. So I did put up a community post today, kind of apologizing and explaining what's going on. The videos I have run out of my pre-done videos. I do them all in advance. I've been here for about almost 3 weeks, and I have run out of pre produced videos. So I can't do new videos till I get back to Ohio, but I will get back on that as soon as I can. So Model Monday, Tech Tuesday, the Open Studio on Wednesday, all those are coming. Hey Enzo, what's up? Franz, what's going on? So what I thought we'd do today is I'm in the middle of doing 543s for Monday, but I thought we'd work a little bit more on the Ford painting. That's something that I really, really want to get done that should have been done last year, the whole series, but I have one more to go. It's been a great series. It's all started with HD stencils, and it's been a popular series. It's been good. A lot of the paintings in that series have already been collected, so I really kind of want to get this one done to kind of close that out and start the new one. So that's what I got. Toby Foss, what's up, buddy? All right. So let's get to it. Let's do something. All right, let me switch over here. You guys are gonna, can I switch over? Yeah, I can. Look at that. Here we go. You guys get a view of the wall for a second there. All right. Ooh, you guys get a special sneak preview of one of the 543s. I didn't mean that to happen, but oh well. Let's do this. All right. Yeah, so Frankenstein is one of the 543s. So I've just finished that one up. So that one's all done. But I will show that to you on Monday. Show you how that came out. If you're around Facebook, that's what you want to do. You want to come by Monday and get in on winning one of those and hanging out and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. It's fun. How's your birthday? Oh, thank you. Yeah, my birthday was good. That was yesterday. Um, it was really fun. It was really casual. I saw my mom in the morning, and she is doing great, fighting her pneumonia and all the other fun stuff she had going on. And then my kids and their significant others all came by here last night. We just hung out and had pizza, and yeah, just chilled. Oh, these are great. Yeah, Bobby, these are amazing. So these are the OttLite clip lights. They are fantastic. I love them because they work great. You can move them around. You know, they have this little clip on them, which is great. So it works great with the Visionaire setup, and it works great here. This is just my portable drafting table. So yeah, it all works good. Can I zoom in? Oh, I can. Oh, that's very zoomy. Sorry, I'm making you sick here. I didn't mean it. I don't know. It's very sensitive. The zoom is very sensitive. All right. So what we did on Monday is I did that little headlight right there. So I need to finish that up. I don't know why I didn't finish it that night. There's a little bit of airbrushing that needs to be done on it to kind of finish it up. And it's really the fun part. So you guys get a little bit of that today, and then we'll just move on. I really want to get this blue Ford kind of locked in and done. So that's kind of the goal. Oh, you got two last week. Awesome. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna. I have two. I have three of them. I'm definitely gonna pick up a couple more because they're just great all around. I love them. The lights color corrected and everything too, so it's kind of the best of everything. It really is. I love them. Sorry, I'm still dealing with this cold. It is almost done though. I feel good. It's just a little bit of congestion left. Let's see how zoomy we can get this. Holy crap, that's a lot of zoom. Okay, well, that's good. It's not really clear, though. Well, we'll kind of compromise. I think that'll work. Unless I physically get the phone closer. Huh. I don't know. I don't know how that's gonna work. Let's give it a try. This is totally new ground for me. Because the live feeds on YouTube are usually done with my computer and all the fun cameras and all that stuff, and it's a totally different experience. So, um, yeah, it's gonna be fuzzy, I think, if I get too close. This Zoom is insane. This is definitely a YouTube Zoom thing because, yeah, mine doesn't do that. My phone doesn't do that. Yeah, let's try. That's probably going to be the best I can get. All right, so that's good to know in the future. So about that Zoom issue. Well, it'll give you a good idea. Um, Apparently, YouTube is not set up for teeny weeny miniature paintings. All right, so the only thing I have left to do on that headlight, the one I started on Monday, is to put a little bit of airbrushing on it, and that just ties everything together. So if you want to see how I got it to this point, from this back one here is undone, and then the one in the front is pretty much done. So if you want to see that, you can just go back and watch Monday's Facebook Live. I did pretty much the whole thing on Facebook. So Simon Carter, yes, Simon, thank you. Yeah, it was. It almost didn't happen again today because of just me running around and then losing track of time. So what I have in here is you can't see it. I have white, just reduced white. It's really reduced white. It's like one part paint to like 10 parts reducer. And what I do with this is those little white highlights that I put on there, a couple of them. Let's get this going first. Is I just want to add a little bit of glow around those highlights and just go real slow with it and let it build up. And then that kind of just blends it together. The other thing I kind of do is wherever there is a little bit of light, like at the horizon and everything, I just add a little bit of there too. And I know that's tough to see because of the zoom. So let me try to pull this out a little bit. Maybe I can get it to a point where it's close enough, but it's still in focus for you. Ah, Toby, have a good one, brother. Let's see here. Whoa, that zoom is crazy. Yeah, it's not really working. All right. Well, all right. Good to know. What I may end up doing, well, I was going to say what I may end up doing, the Facebook part of it doesn't do that wonky zoom. I may end up maybe doing the Thursday feeds on Facebook because it's a better mobile feed. But we'll see. We'll see. So hopefully you guys who are doing the UK thing don't mind, but we'll kind of play it by ear. What I can also do next week too, if I'm here, I should be here next Thursday too in Massachusetts. What I may do then is do the feed and pick something bigger to do. So yeah. But we'll mess around with this and see what we can get done. All right, so from here, I think what I need to do is I could do the other headlight, but we did that Monday. So if you really want to see that, like I said, you can jump back and check that out on the Monday feed. But what I think I'll do is I'm just pulling up the photo right now. I think what I'll do is I'll work on the motor. That'll be good. Yeah, I'll work on the motor, the blue one. It's a little bit bigger, so you guys can kind of keep track of it a little bit easier. Won't be as crazy. And of course, because I only have the one camera, there's no palette cam, so I'll kind of describe what I'm doing on the palette as we go. I'm telling you, man, take for granted what you got. I set all that up at home to do all the live streams with all the multiple cameras and all the fun stuff, and I'm amazed at how fast I got used to all that stuff. And now, like having it around a lot. It's cool being able to switch cameras and zoom in and have it clean and all that fun stuff. All right. Tone, what's up, brother? I'd ask you how things are in Florida, but I see your posts all the time, so I know. I know what kind of, I mean, I didn't go through the same kind of adjustment that you went through, moving from New York to Florida. I know, yeah, I know. It's just everyone's talking about it. The economy absolutely blows, so that doesn't help when you run your own business. And I know you're dealing with a lot, but I also know what kind of artist you are, and I know that no matter what happens, you're going to come out on top for sure. It's just because we don't know how to. Well, first, we don't know how to do anything else. I don't know if I speak for you, Tone, but like like I'm uniquely unqualified to do anything else. So there's that. And then from there, I mean, I don't know. I also believe that people are built to do things in their lives, and once they find them, that's what they should be doing. And I feel that's true with artists more than anyone. They have a gift, they have a talent, and they need to get that done. They need to give that back to the world. So I know things will work out for you. Oh, so you're working. That's good. Like I said, I knew things like that don't last very long for people who are talented. So this is just straight black, and what I'm doing is I'm kind of blocking in the darkest areas of the motor. Yeah, you guys can see that. Okay. Again, that zoom is not. I wish I could do something with that. I'm afraid though. Here we go. I'm gonna make you all sick again. Yeah, it's a little bit blurry, but yeah, I think I'll try to keep it general so you guys will get the idea, and then I'll come up with a different plan for next week. So you guys are the guinea pigs for this week. Sorry. While I go and try to figure everything out. Now I started the motor, the firewall here in the engine compartment, and I did this all with a stencil and the airbrush. So now what I can do is I can go back in here and clean things up a little bit with the paintbrush, and then it'll be a kind of a back and forth thing. So I'll use the paintbrush, and then I'll fade it and shade it with the airbrush, and kind of bounce back and forth. I don't know about this gap right here. I don't know what this is. I think that's supposed to be red, that white gap right there. So we'll deal with that after. That's an after thing, I think. I also figured out this week, after working on this painting, I've been kind of working on and off on this painting for about a year, maybe even longer. I just figured out that both of these are pickup trucks, so that was fun. I didn't realize that. And the way I found that out was one of the reflections in the blue headlight right here. That little reflection of the red truck right there. You can see the bed of the pickup truck in the reflection, which you can't see in the photograph. And so that was a surprise. Not that it really matters, but it's kind of fun. Yeah, it's a lot of airbrushing that needs to happen in this. What am I doing? Just kind of finding my way here. All right. And I'm just picking the darkest areas. This whole area is pretty dark, but if I pick the darkest areas, I can like draw in the areas before I airbrush, and then I kind of know where I'm going with it. Even though, like I said, all this is going to be really dark when it's done, except for this. It's kind of silvery. But for the most part, this is all like really dark in here. What's going on up there? I have no idea. It's hard to see in the photo because the photo's even small too right here. I mean, this whole area is like the size of, like, if I'm drawing a circle right now. This is about the size of a US dime. So, not very big at all. And I can see the HD stencil a little bit. So it's giving me some guidance on what goes where. And again, that's the nice thing about these HD stencils. They really kind of give you just enough information to kind of make sure things are in the right spot, but it doesn't give you everything by far. So you can really like kind of stretch out your drawing skills where you don't have to worry about proportions as much and things like that, because you can actually see a little bit of it in there. So it kind of sets the stage for you, and then you can finish it up. Yeah, Simon, we're getting there. Everyone's getting there. Mom's feeling better. She's in a rehab right now, kind of re-strengthening. She has. My mom's amazing. She quit smoking 17 years ago, but she smoked her whole life, so she's got a lot of residual things she's dealing with because of that, like COPD and emphysema and things like that. But the last thing that woman needed was to catch whatever this thing was that was rolling around, and she did. And then in the hospital, she piled on and got pneumonia too. So it was a rough ride for her for sure. But she is one tough cookie, so she's doing good now. And then my youngest son got the same thing. She did get the pneumonia end of it, but he is a type 1 diabetic, and so when a diabetic gets really sick like that, it really does a number on their numbers, their blood sugar and everything. So yeah, so he had a fun time too, but he is doing much better too. And then I got it, but I didn't get it as bad as everyone else. So I feel pretty lucky about that. But thanks. Yeah, it was a fun way to spend my vacation, holiday, birthday, whatever. Yeah, they are. They're doing great. Thanks, Simon. So other new news, if you weren't here on Monday, I'm finally able to make the announcement. My daughter and her fiance are expecting a baby. So I have a grandson coming, my very first grandson, which is super exciting. So I got to see everyone yesterday, and Emily's doing great. Most of you who have followed me are familiar with Emily and know who she is because I painted her so many times, and she's been on the feed and all that fun stuff. So yeah, so they are super excited about all of that fun stuff, and yeah, she's far enough along that they feel comfortable. They feel comfortable kind of letting everyone know. So. Cat is out of the bag. Grandpa Steve. It's my first grandchild too, so I have to learn the ways of the grandpa. Getting them candy when they're not supposed to, and all that. This is all still black, just straight black. And again, I'm just picking the darkest areas and just kind of drawing in the details. Again, a lot of this is going to be airbrush, which we'll do when we get there. Pop Leahy, that's it. That's what I think I'm going to be called. We talked about it, and I don't know. I don't want to be grandpa. They weren't fond of grand dude or G daddy. They didn't like those. So those were out. But yeah, I think we've kind of settled on Pop. So my dad to my kids, so my children's grandfather was Papa, so I couldn't do that because there's only one Papa. So that's what happened with that. That's kind of the evolution of Pop. I think Pop is good. And then like my my mom to my kids is Mima, Mema, And the only reason she's Mima is because my oldest son, when he was really tiny, couldn't say grandma, so he called her Mima, and that stuck. So I say all this, and thinking about what I want to be called, and the child may have a completely different idea. So there's that too, which I'm totally okay with. If if something happens and the child calls me something else, that's going to be fun. I'm okay with that. I wish this was in focus, though. Sorry about that, you guys. There's got to be something else I can do. I'm gonna move it out a little bit more. Maybe it'll, because even if you're farther out, but it's in focus, I think that's going to be a better solution. Yeah, no kidding. That's for sure, Simon. Let's try that. What if does it have a focus? No, I don't know. No, not really. Oh well. I think that's a little bit better anyway. All right. I don't have black in the brush. Well, okay then. Now I'm going to switch to black because basically this motor is just black. I've already put a little bit, see that little bit of blue in there? I've already done that when I did the blue of the vehicle, the body color. So that's already pre-done. If this was all not, if this was just white and black, I'd have to add that little bit of blue in because that's really the only color, except for this little copper tube that runs through here. What am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. All right, I'm gonna get a little bit of black in the airbrush, and then we'll airbrush that motor and put a few details in, and then really that's done, which is nice. So again, about the schedule, it looks like I'm here through next week anyway. I am actually sort of kind of thinking that by the way things are going, I'll probably have the family will have things kind of worked out by the end of next week. Um, so then I could head back to Ohio and kind of get back on schedule with everything. So that's the plan, a rough plan in my head, although I'm really here for the duration until we get everything sorted out with everyone. So, but it would be nice. It'd be nice to get back and get back to all the stuff. One of the things I really wanted to get done this year was to kind of solidify Model Monday. I did a few videos on Mondays, but I want to get at least one out a month. That's kind of my rough goal. And that will allow me to keep the content rolling on that and still, it's the videos are a lot of work and I love doing them, but it's also a matter of making sure I get them done on time. So adding another video to, like another video series entirely is maybe not the greatest idea for doing that, but I really want to do the Model Mondays. So I kind of compromised with myself and decided that, one a month would be good. Let me, excuse me, I'll plug this in so it doesn't turn off. There we go. I'm multitasking. There we go. All right, so black in the brush. This black is, again, it's super reduced. It's 1 part paint to 10 parts reducer. So now I've got all that paintbrush stuff in, so now I can just kind of go in and shade all the stuff that I need to kind of push around and push back, and it's nice because this by combining the two, the paintbrush and the airbrush, I get the best of both worlds, which is exactly what I want. Again, I don't want anyone to look at it and say, oh, hey, that's a cool airbrush painting. I want people to just look at it and see the car, and I certainly want people to get excited about the technique and how it happened. That's something that I enjoy looking at when I look at artwork, but I don't want it to be the thing, There are some instances where the technique should carry the painting, like if you, sometimes seeing an airbrush painting and knowing that it's airbrushed and that's the main thing, that's great, that's fine. But for this kind of stuff, and for me, I like to keep it kind of secondary to the art, you know, secondary to what's going on. The pressure's pretty low. I'm running about 20 pounds of pressure. That way I can kind of keep control of it, but still, you know, keep the paint atomizing the way it should. If I find that if I thin the paint out too much and I drop the pressure, which is a common like solvent-based paint trick, if you're using like automotive paint or some sort of solvent-based paint that sprays a little bit smoother than water-based, the trick is to dump the pressure way down and then have this real thin paint, and then everything works out. But with water-based, it doesn't tend to work that way for me. It tends to flood out really quickly. So I like to run it a little bit thicker and at a higher pressure, and then I can seem to get more control out of it. I'm not overly worried about getting black overspray on other things like the red part here. The whole grill section of this car isn't done yet. So if I get a little bit of black on this, it's not going to matter because I got a lot of work to do on the front of it anyway. I mean, I don't want to hose it down. I don't want to get paint all over it, but I'm also not overly worried about it. Cody Adams, what's up, buddy? It can't hurt to try Model Mondays, but I appreciate that you do put a lot of time in the videos and life. It's already awesome, Simon. Thanks. Yeah, it's definitely been one of the things that I really enjoy doing. As much as I love painting, it's, you know, if you're painting in an echo chamber, it's not as much fun. So it's nice for just to get, you know, the feedback and get people's eyes on it and things like that. I like that a lot about the whole social media thing. All right. So see, just kind of pushing everything back, you know, just kind of shading where it needs to be shaded. And it's amazing if you use this HD stencil and you don't like put it down heavy, like that gray right there, that's as dark as I got with the HD stencil. So when I go and paint all the airbrush stuff and paintbrush stuff, the HD stencil disappears almost completely. Really, I mean, I don't mean completely or almost completely. It disappears completely. You really can't even see it, which is fun. And again, that's what I want. It's like pencil lines, you know, I don't want those to show at the end. All right, so we got a couple things to do in this engine compartment. That's pretty much it for the airbrushing, but that really pushes that motor back in and gets everything where it should be, which is good. I need copper. What am I going to use for copper? I have some orange here. Yellow. Did I bring yellow? I think I did. Okay, I did. Get some red out on here, some orange, a little bit of yellow. There it is. That series that I have up on the website, the Pyro Red series, that I put up on sale, that is a 23 series. The 24 series is all going to be a Hansa yellow. So I'm going to do 6 more cars, but they're all going to be based off of this yellow, which will be a lot of fun. So the way it looks, I don't know if I'll do a series in 2025, you know, and pick a new color. I might, and that sounds like it would be a fun thing. But for now, stick with the yellow one. I did a short time lapse of the Reaper project that I did. Found it really enjoy. Yeah, isn't it fun? Simon, did you post that? And if so, where did you post it so I can go watch it? You can put a link if you have it. That'd be awesome. Then I'll just jump back. All right, so I got some yellow. I got some orange. I need some white. That's not white. That's white. Mr. Parker, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling better. I still got a stuffed up nose, dealing with some congestion, but yeah, it only lasted a good 3.5 days for real, that it was really knocking me out. So I feel good now, though. All right. So I got a little bit of white on the palette. I grabbed some orange. And what I'm looking to do is make kind of a rusty copper color. So a little bit of yellow, a little bit of orange, a touch of black. Again, it's going to be too much of a pain in the butt to try to move the camera around. So I'll describe it, and then hopefully that'll give you an idea. All right. So that little copper tube is right here. There we go. Came out a little bit yellow, but overall I'm okay with that. I posted time lapse on my page. Yeah, please do, Simon. Send me a link. I'd love that. I haven't been online. Well, you guys know I haven't been online very much since I got here. Things have been nuts, but I'm trying to get caught up on a lot of things. So yeah. All right. So this is just straight orange, and the orange itself, even though it's opaque orange from Createx, if you thin it out a little bit, it becomes transparent, which is what I did here because I just want to give it a little bit more of a kick of that orangey copper color. Enzo, I'm doing good. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, I'm feeling better. Feeling better. A little bit, anyway. What else am I missing here? There's some other details that I kind of mix. So I'll mix up a gray here to get some of the other little details that I kind of missed when I airbrushed in. So they're just tiny little highlights and things like that. Or not highlights, but light spots, I guess. That's good. That is good. Here we go. A little bit of that. Okay, so in the louvers on the side, there's some stuff I got to do there too, which is kind of fun. Add these last little details. Yeah, that's good. I like it. All right, so what am I looking at? I don't know why. Why is that? So the front louvers over here, I'll show you the photo real quick, have yellow in them. Now that is clearly... Oh, okay, I know what that is. Like, what is that yellow? So that yellow, there's these lines that are in the bottom here on the ground. So that is, you can see the other line right through here. So I'm going to add that in because I like that. Now the Hansa yellow is really, really bright. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of orange to it to kind of tone it down. So it's not so like violently white. And it's really just the first 4 of these louvers that has that yellow in it. That's what I'm talking about right there. Good. Drink lots of honey and lemon tequila shots. Nice. Fresh squeezed. Of course. You need that vitamin. Is there vitamin C in lemons? I think there is. It's a citrus, right? Ryan, what's up, buddy? Thank you, sir. Yeah, sorry we're out of focus. I got to work on figuring that out for next time. It just apparently YouTube Live wasn't meant for extreme close-ups, which is understandable, I guess. All right, I'm happy with that. I do need to kind of thing I didn't do. I did some of the radiator housing here, but I didn't really kind of finish it because I was working more on the headlight on Monday. So I'm gonna fix that now. And then mostly that back edge is what was kind of mixed up on it. So what I need is a really kind of a bluish gray to kind of set that back edge of the radiator housing. It's just a really light indication. And this is probably going to be too bright, but it's okay. I can always knock it down once I get it into where it should be as far as the shape goes. So you can see the back side of the radiator housing here. This is definitely, I'm not so sure about my old Fords. Like, I don't know if they had a chrome radiator housing, or if this is aftermarket. I'm pretty sure it's aftermarket though. But in any event, what you're seeing is this dark area is a reflection of the whatever this would be called, the it should be the hood, but it's not. Maybe they call it the hood. I don't know. But it's the opening in the side for the motor. All right, again, that's a little bit too bright, so I'm just going to take some black, and I'm going to use some reducer in it. And I'm going to really reduce that out to make a real thin black, real transparent black. And then with that, I can kind of go over this a couple times and just kind of knock it back down to where it should be. So essentially it's the same kind of thing as the airbrush trick, but just with a paintbrush. So I'm just working in really light layers and letting each thin layer build up on it and kind of reshape it and turn it to the value that I need it. Like that. That looks good. And the other thing that happens is that reflection is really dark, and it's darker than I have it. So I can kind of work on that as well. So this is just same thing. It's black, but it's not as reduced. So now I have a little bit of guts in it, which is good. So now I can kind of darken that up. And get it to where it needs to be. That is lovely. And again, a little bit of work in this. I did a little bit of the radiator just because I was doing the chrome on Monday, but now I can kind of finish it up. So same thing, right in here, in this little seam, there's a reflection as the seam rolls over of this dark area, and it's just in that spot. So that just helps to kind of define it and pull it together. I will pull this back at the end and kind of show you a more focused version. So, and I'm also trying to pick things that you guys are going to be able to see. Okay, I'm happy. Again, I don't want to do this other headlight because I did this here and you guys have already seen it. So I don't want to do the lines in the grill because that's like micro stuff, and again, you won't really see it. So let me see. What do I got? Oh, the bumper. There's bumper and flags. Do I put those on there? I don't know. I don't know that yet. So here's the bumper. This void here is the chrome bumper, and then there's a little mounting bracket that's here. And then right here, there's a bunch of, they had stuck a bunch of little American flags right here. So here's the thing. Let me zoom out again. So here's the idea behind this. If I'm looking at the whole composition of this now, those flags might be something that I want to take out. And the reason why is because you got this kind of nice, nice negative shape here with the background. And, there's all the asphalt stuff that kind of disappears into this white, which really gives it depth, even though there's not much space there. So the bumper is going to come out and almost touch the edge of the painting here, right here. So the question is that enough? Is that enough that'll allow someone to kind of, as they're kind of moving through the painting, get to that bumper and then fold them back in? So sometimes when you add a lot of stuff there, like if I put all the flags there, that's going to give someone something to really look at. They'll be able to identify that and they'll know what that is, and their eyes will kind of stop there. So the question is that something that I want to leave in or take out? The best way to determine that really is to do the fender and then just take a step back and look at the whole thing. Just kind of look at it and then try to catch myself as I'm looking around this thing. Like, okay, what did I do? Did I stop on those flags? Did I just keep going around the painting? Or and that'll help me kind of determine like what to do as far as keeping people moving around this piece. What's really nice about these bumpers is the way that they're shaped. Ford had these great kind of smiley face shapes if you're looking straight down at them. So once this is done and this chrome bumper is in, you're going to be kind of like waves. You're just going to be like moving through each one of the bumpers again. So I don't really want to give, I mean, I want to give someone a place to kind of land, especially near the edge of the painting. The other real good compositional type of thing is if you give someone a reason to move off the painting, then they probably will. So they'll move on to the next painting. And I know this all seems really minor, but it really is what holds. I mean, just look at any magazine ad and photograph, and you'll see a lot of these things. There's nothing that will move your eye off of that photograph, especially if it's for an advertisement. They want to keep you there, and those little tricks are really what does that. Mr. JC, how are you? Patty, what's up? Thank you, Patty. You're awesome. That was a long story. So the way to get that done is I got to get the bumpers in. But again, I don't want to cut anything right now. Just kind of slow things down. So what am I going to do? Let me work on the bottom of this fender here. All right, so get ready for the wonky zoom. Sorry. Super sensitive, and I don't know why. All right, yeah, we'll do a little bit on this bottom part here. Kind of finish it up, I think. Do I already? Oh, I added most of that in. Oh, how lovely. Yeah, this is actually going to be easy, this bottom section here. Ay, 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 ay. Okay. So I am keeping the comments like on the side here. I can see them. And you notice that Simon has his name in green with a little logo next to him. So Simon is one of the members here. So for all those who are members, thank you so much. Thank you to everyone who's here just in interacting. That helps with the dreaded algorithm. So I appreciate that. And that Pyro Red series that I was talking about earlier, those 6 car paintings, YouTube members also get 10% off everything in the store all the time. So if you're a member, that works on original paintings as well. So you can basically pay for your entire membership in savings by using it on a painting. For instance, with that painting, you'll save $60, which will, what's that? 2 years of membership cost. So that you'd actually get for, the discount. Oh, and today's cheers, I'm still kind of recovering, so it's Coca-Cola. I usually don't drink soda, but or pop, as they say in the Midwest. What the hell's pop? Soda. All right. I'm gonna do. What am I gonna do? I may cut some stuff out. So if I do these three pieces here, the 2 fenders and the body part here, then I might be able to get away with that. It's mostly black anyway. So let's start with this piece in here because I don't need to cut anything out for this. And all I'm going to do is kind of, again, I've got the airbrush part of it already in, and I've just got to darken it a little bit. So I'm going to grab my handy dandy. Love this thing. This is the mini FH5 from Andrea Mistretta. I have an even smaller version of this too, and I love this template because it always has exactly the curve that I'm looking for. It's great. So first thing I'm going to do is, this is just straight black, so I'm going to spray this and see how it looks. And what I mean is the black has a lot of brown in it, and the darker areas of this car have this really rich blue. So if this kind of deadens that blue, then I'll add a little bit of blue to it, dark blue, but that looks pretty good. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Yeah, I'm okay with that. So I did the edge, that's all done now. I can start adding the, you know what? No, this is not good. I'm not going to do this. Let me grab some blue. I do love this black, but it is very warm, and that's why I like it so much. But again, if you're trying to do something like this, it doesn't really play very nicely. All right, so I'm gonna grab a little bit of cobalt blue, and I'll add cobalt blue to the black, and then that'll give me the right blue for what I'm doing here. Sorry about the sniffles. All right, cobalt blue. So I got the black. Remember, that's super reduced. That's 1 part paint to 10 parts reducer. So I'm just going to grab a little bit of cobalt blue on the brush and add that right in here. And that should be enough. That should turn this to a real slate kind of blue color. Dark, dark, dark blue. Now, if you mix in the airbrush, remember that the paint from here to here is still the original black. This is the original color, so I have to kind of mix that in too, or else I'll get, you know, all kinds of nastiness. So I'll just grab a tissue here and back flush it and get those bubbles to come up, and that way I know all the black is mixed in. Test it out here, and I think that's good. Okay. Stay with me here. Okay. Beautiful. All right. Check it out up here, and I think that's okay. Actually, I think I need to add a little bit more blue, but it's okay for right here. Like I'm not freaking out. Where I do want it right is when I get to this front fender. If it's still got that brownish cast to it, when I get to the top, the highlighted part, you'll really see that brown. It actually will turn the blue a little bit green, which is not what I want. Thank you all for hitting the like button too. Was talking about all the membership and the financial support that way, but just hitting that like button does wonders for the algorithm. So I super appreciate that. I love that the channel is growing. I love the community that's actually subscribing. You know, it's just great group of people, and yeah, it's making me happy. Okay, I added a little bit more blue while I was talking because I needed it. Again, I don't want to run into that green issue on the fender and then really have a problem. Because then I'd have to go and redo that whole thing if I came out with a wonky color. Yeah, that's beautiful. All right. Should I be super lazy and not cut out a template? That's taking a chance. Give me 1 second. 1 second. How? Where the heck is it? All right, I got it. Okay. I was afraid it was kind of buried, but it isn't. So that's good. So now I don't have to be lazy. All right. So I have all my cutouts here. What I'm looking for is the cutout that I used to do this blue. So I know I have it because I can tell that was a cutout. So hopefully I still have it in the folder. If not, I can just cut it out again, but this will save a lot of time if it's already done. Yeah, yuck, I don't see it. Meaning it's at home. Oh well. Oh well. So, and it wouldn't be a Steve Leahy project if it didn't have coffee all over it. So who knows how that happened? Actually, I do know how that happened. I'm generally a klutz. So, where'd that go? Oh, it's right in front of me. Lovely. Okay. put this right here. All right, so a couple things I need to cut out here. Let's do just the front fender here. Oops, can you see it? There we go. I'll do both fenders, and then we'll put the highlights on those, and that way the fenders will be done. And I think that'll be. I know it's a short and sweet video, but I also started really late, so this will keep people on track who normally are used to me jumping on at 1 or 6 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. So again, I talked about this with this series, and it's amazing. So you guys have seen me do this photocopy cutout deal a lot. So when you combine that with the HD stencil, it's amazingly powerful to get this done. So here's the HD stencil, and if I hold it at an angle, you can kind of see, the details and stuff like that. It doesn't give you everything, but it gives you a bunch. So if you combine this with the photocopy thing, it's been such a blast to paint, That's how we know it's official to Yes, my caffeinated watermark. I have a reputation for dumping liquids. I also have a reputation for tripping upstairs. I'm not a small individual, and stairs weren't necessarily built for my size feet, so I tend to, especially going upstairs, I tend to trip. So add that with a cup of coffee in my hand, and yeah, mayhem ensues. In fact, when I was a kid, teenager, I worked for a music store, and it became known as doing a Steve when you dump your drink everywhere. So I wear my klutziness badge with pride. There we go. All right, so that's the two fenders ready to go. At least it's decent coffee, All right, so all this does, these two cutouts here, these two fender cutouts, all these do is mostly for the background. It just protects the background from getting, this dark blue on it, overspray. This is why I was contemplating on just going for it, because if for this fender here, I've got the black of the tire that still needs to go in. So if I got black overspray on the tire part of it, it's not going to make any difference. You know what I mean? However, the headlight here is nice and bright and chromy. If I got overspray on that, I'd have to fix that, as well as, down here, I get some of that blue on the red, and then I'd have to fix that as well. So that's kind of the back and forth that I go through, trying to not to be lazy, but also try to get things done. So this will obviously line up really just perfectly with it, because the HD stencil came from the same photograph that I got this photocopy from. All right, so now we're good. So now I got to get back to my reference, and this still could be a little bit more blue. It's not bad. It's not going to ruin it, but yeah, it could use a little bit more blue. And again, where I picked that up is on the top of that, where the fender is really light blue. You can really see the warmth, the brown and the black. All right, good. So the way I'll adjust for that too, I won't do it here because I want to move on with this. So the way I would adjust for that like the greenish bluish cast over there. I'll just grab some straight cobalt blue and then just kind of hit that same shadow area. That blue will kind of cover up the brown. But for the most part, that worked out really, really well. I'm not displeased with that. In fact, I have to do the blue because when I put the highlights and details on top of that, if I don't correct the color first, I'll end up putting blue all over everything and it won't work. So let's do that now. I need a little bit of, come on, man. Here we go. No, it's not going to work. That's going to work. Okay. So I'm just grabbing some 40, 50, 40, 11 mix. This is 1 to 10. 1 part, 40, 50 to 10 parts to do. So I was looking for 1 to 5. Oh, there it is right there. Okay. It's so weird. You know, the Visionaire setup is so nice because I have a little rack, a little paint bottle rack, which I will show you when I get home. That's part of the system, or you know, an option for the system. And I have all these little custom mixed 4011s and all the custom reduced blacks and whites in that little rack. So they're right there and I can grab them. But here on the bench in Massachusetts, it's just kind of everything everywhere. So reminds me of how I used to be. All right, a little bit of that reducer and a little bit of cobalt blue. Mix that up in the brush. And this essentially, I mean, makes a kind of a blue candy. It's really, really transparent, even though the cobalt blue is transparent anyway. When you go and add a whole ton of reducer and 4050 to it, it makes it even more transparent. And that's exactly what I want. I just want to tint this a little bit to kind of get that greenish color off. Now this I definitely want to use the stencil for, because I'm going to be back pretty far with this, and I would definitely get this everywhere if I didn't have the template. I'm back about 1.5 inches. You can't even see the airbrush. There it is right there. So I'm back pretty far, and I'm just putting a general blue fade over the whole thing. Not so much on the top where the highlights are, but just enough to kind of switch that greenish color over to the correct color, which is just a really deep, deep, rich blue. And the trick with this, I talk about doing light layers all the time. This is especially true. I'm not even looking at the application of color here. I'm just kind of looking at it at an angle and seeing the wet paint being applied. And that's what I'm doing. I don't care. I am watching to see how the blue is developing, but I'm more concerned about putting it on really evenly and thin. If I try to look at the color first, like get the color to work first, I guarantee I'll flood this out because it's so thin. I'll be pushing it really hard to try to get the color to change, and then I'll end up, with an issue. So that is wonderful. Visionaire system now, I've had it for 2 years. I can't imagine going back. Yes, Simon, I wish I had mine when I started. I mean, the people who are getting into it now, and this is not just for airbrush artists, like for all artists, it is such a cool setup. I mean, it just organizes everything, which is fantastic. And the nice thing about it is, and I don't mean to sound like an advertisement, but I bought everything I have. I think I got part of the Coast sent me part of the frame to use, but that's the only part of it that I got without having to pay for it. I paid for just about everything. And I did that because it seemed like a really good idea, and it really, really is. And what's nice about it is, again, I don't want to sound like a commercial, but all the Visionaire stuff lets you organize in any way you want to. It's not like, you buy it and then you have to set up your system like everyone else. It's really it's really personal. Like you can put things exactly where you want them. You can set them up in any way you want, and that's what makes it so much fun and makes it work so well. All right, that's good. I like that. So let's keep going. Now, normally when I would do that, what I did right there, I would do it on all the other pieces, but I'm not. I'm just going to do it on this fender, so you can kind of see how this all works. Alrighty then. Highlights. Let's do highlights. Yeah. There's not. Oh, there is some of that. What do you know? So you can see the reflection of this car here, kind of in that bumper, but it's really subtle. So I'm gonna do the same thing here. I'm gonna take some Pyro Red. Yeah, when I first saw the ads for it, I'm like, oh, that's cool. You know, that's gonna be neat for someone. It wasn't until I got to Coast. I went to Coast Airbrush for one of their rendezvous, and Dave from Coast had all the Visionaire stuff set up. So I actually got to see it and go through like a lot of the bits and pieces. And then my brain just like went on overdrive. I'm like, oh my gosh, I could do this, and I could get cameras and lighting and all this other stuff, and yeah, it was just like nonstop. All right, so this is Pyro Red and a little bit of Daylight Blue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of just put in the reflection of this red vehicle next to it. And the reflection is just simply this little red line that kind of is at the bottom of that fender. And I know that's really difficult to see, but trust me, it's there. I'm just going to let it dry. I'll move the cameras around so you can possibly make that out. Yeah, and that's the other beautiful thing about it. So Simon just said I saw an ad and expected it to be much more expensive. When I saw the cost, I got it in almost instantly. One of the best things about the whole Visionaire stuff is it's all modular. So it's not, again, it's not like I mean, you can buy a whole setup. If you look at Marissa's site, which is Foxy Studio, she sells the whole setup that they use in class. So she's got a specific setup that they all use, and she also offers the whole setup. So you can buy the whole thing all at once. But the best part about it is you buy one, the base part, the whatever you decide, the canvas jig or the desk jig or whatever, or the desk stand, and then you just add on. You pick whatever you want. You say, oh, I want an airbrush holder, or I want a cup holder, or something to hold my speaker, my Bluetooth speaker. It's like it's just all this stuff, and it's all individual. All right, I'm gonna tilt this a little bit so maybe you can see the red. There it is. See it in there? Really subtle, but that's all. That's all it needs. All right. So the other thing is there are some clouds in the sky, and you can only pick them up. Well, you can pick them up in the red car, but mostly in the blue car. So we're gonna do those now. And those are just gonna, as you would guess, it's just gonna be white. Oh, this has Keith Hansen pinstriping on it too. Son of a B. Um, so this blue one, I knew this blue one was a pickup truck because I happened to be at Keith's shop when this truck was being pinstriped. So I recognized it, and I obviously got this photo from a local car show. So I knew the truck, and it was fun because I got to see it getting pinstriped in addition to being able to take a bunch of pictures of it too. So this is not if you got the download from my website, the Kiwi Speed Shop. This isn't obviously the truck from that, but again, that truck was at Keith Hansen's getting pinstripe too, and I got a bunch of pictures of that truck too. So that's where that came from. All right, so we got a little bit of pinstriping from Mr. Hansen on there. There's a highlight right here from the sun. Oh, it's a bunch of highlights. Beautiful. Oh, what's going on there though? I had to fix that. Yeesh. Okay, we'll fix that too. So this is a sun highlight right here. And then there's some clouds around the sun, which we'll get to this at the end. We'll put a little airbrushing on this too, but for now we'll just put the clouds in. All right, and then there's another part of this fender that I need to fix, which I will get to in a second here. There we go. There's some highlights on there. Ryan, I ordered the easel and the hardware came standard and metric, but nuts and bolts didn't match. Oh, that's them working out their fun stuff. Yeah, unfortunately. Mine is all metric. I don't know how that works. I don't know, what determines which one, but hopefully they sorted that out for you, Ryan. I know, they are good people over there for sure. Dell is a great guy. So if it was not sorted out though, let me know and we'll all yell at him. Again, he's a good guy. So I'd be surprised if the end of that story was that he didn't make it right for you. Some of the parts, you can like the nuts and not so much the. I haven't been able to find the actual the right length screws, but I haven't really looked either. But some of the stuff like the nuts I was able to get locally. Like I needed extra because I was doing some other stuff. So I was able to find them local. I know you can order them online from different places. It's just machine nuts, but it wasn't a big deal. I hit Home Depot and grabbed the new nuts and washed. Okay, good. Yeah, yeah, that's what I did. When I needed, I think it was for the camera mounts. I had some different stuff that I wanted to do. No, there was the originally I had a small monitor for the videos, and I had that attached to the Visionaire, so I needed extra hardware for that. And it wasn't tough. So what I did there, I just took some daylight blue and corrected this edge. It was just kind of wonky. The reason why I could get away with daylight blue instead of the original blue is because there's actually a dark blue reflection that's now going to be put in on that. Oh, that focus is really bugging me. I'm really sorry about that. I can't wait to get home. So that way it's focused. It's fine, you know. But if you try to zoom in, it gets all fuzzy. So I apologize. I'll be back. I'll be back, and all the better camera. I take for granted the stuff I have at home, you know. All right, so there's a dark blue reflection from all the stuff that's above it, and that's why I didn't really have to worry about making that repair with the daylight blue because I knew I'd go in with the darker blue on top of it. Now, the darker blue wasn't, I don't think it was opaque enough to cover the area that needed to be repaired. If it was, then I could just go over it with the reflection and call it a day. But I don't think, since the cobalt blue is pretty transparent, even though it's bold and it's dark, it's still really transparent, and you would have seen the mistake underneath even though it was darker. So what I did was I just grabbed a little bit of black again to darken that up even more, and that's good to go. Yeah, it's beautiful. So that's a reflection on that. Again, sorry for the focus. That sucks. Maybe that is less annoying. I don't know. No need to apologize. Okay, well, I'm glad. Yeah. We'll figure it out. We will figure it out. No, I know what I'm going to do next week. Like I said, if I'm here doing the feed, oh, actually, next week, no, so well, next week I may end up not doing the feed again, and I'll tell you why. Because Thursday night, I'm gonna see if I can maybe go invade Scott McKay for his feed on Thursday night, and he's about an hour from where I'm at right now. So in order to get up there and get settled, I may not be able to do the feed on YouTube, but I will let you all know. What I'll do is I'll put a community post up again, like I did for the other one. And then Simon, I'll try to get a hold of you before either way, so you know. Once I figure out what's going on. All right, so that's all set. I got the repair done, I put the highlights in, and we're good to go there. There's also another cloud highlighted here too, but it's down low and it's very subtle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some white, black, and a little bit of daylight blue to make kind of another steel gray color. And this will be the cloud color. There we go. So this is just a real pale steel blue. So there's a cloud reflection just about here. And again, it's subtle. It's in the darkest part of the reflection. Yeah, so we'll see. I'm really hoping to work that out. Again, I don't have any idea what's going on next week as far as the family goes, so I'm kind of playing it all by ear. All right, there's really only one more thing left to do on this fender. And I would normally rinse and repeat on this fender. It's got a lot of the same stuff going on, these little light highlights and stuff. But I think I'll leave that because, again, the focus is so crapola. Oh, what's in there? White's in here. Is that right? Right? No, black's in there. Bummer. Okay. Ooh, what am I doing? There we go. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm loading a little bit of white into the airbrush, and the only thing I have to add like a glow to is the actual sun. That's the only thing that has that glow on it. And again, had this been in focus, it'd be kind of a cool thing because you'd be able to see it, but hopefully you'll be able to see it. All right, so a little bit of white. Get this going. There we go. So this middle highlight right there, that round highlight, is all I'm going to hit. Now the temptation, of course, with the airbrush, because this is so much fun, is to hit everything, you know, make everything glow. But as soon as you do that, it makes it look like this isn't shiny anymore. It's just foggy, you know, where if I have just the sun have that highlight on it, it really like keeps everything sharp and the way it should be. So let me back it out again. You'll be able to see it a little bit better, I think, even though it's far away. And I'm going to move this here like that. And then I'll do that, see what I can do here. Yeah, so that gives you a better idea. But yeah, that whole thing now with the headlight and those two fenders and the bottom part, that all came together. The motor too, so that was good. Yeah, I'm happy. This is one of those paintings that there is a lot going on with it, no doubt. There's a lot of info in this piece. However, it seems like it's going to take me forever, and this painting has, but it hasn't taken me forever because of the way that the painting is. It really has taken me forever because I haven't been working on it very much. What's nice about it though is so I just pretty much resolved, you know, the fender and the whole motor and the compartment and everything, and just the time we were together. So realistically, you know, about an hour more on the front of this car, and it'll be pretty much done. So it is going to move quick. And again, what's so funny about it, there's my thumb. My thumb will pretty much cover this whole area. So it's not a very big area, but it is super important to the whole image. I could have easily taken that blue truck out, you know what I mean? And then it still would have been a good painting. You know, you would have had all the, you know, the red truck in the front. But just having that blue truck in the back just kind of, at first it adds a bunch of depth. It just pulls you from this point right here, right into this painting. And again, that's, now that you can see the whole thing, that whole flag deal will make more sense to you. Definitely when you look at this painting, most people will lock in on this wheel first because it's a circle, it's right in front of you, and it's right in like the edge of the painting. And then what happens is circles are what we love as far as visual, you know, kind of cues go. So there are two ways to go. They'll either follow the bumper up and around, or they'll follow the line of headlights. But again, what I don't want here is, again, you see how this is all going to be nice and blue and the white and all this stuff. If I put those American flags here, that's going to be a shot of red right here, and that may just keep people from going, or, you know, force people to go to the next painting on the wall. Essentially, they just go right off. If there's no red here, there's a good chance of what they'll do is they'll fold back in, especially to this, which matches that. So that'll keep them kind of rolling around. And then what you have is this triangle. And nothing is more, you know, kind of powerful in holding someone in a painting than that triangle. So there's your composition fun for the day. And that's what we got. All right. So again, thank you for hanging out while I tried to figure out the fun focus stuff. Again, if I do the feed next week, if something happens and I'm not running up to Scott's, and I do the feed at 1 next week, I will do something much bigger so that, you know, we won't have to deal with the. I know I have another one here. we'll have to yeah, I'll do something bigger next week so that I can keep it out here a little bit. I should have the guitar. Yeah, I could do the guitar next week. I'm working on a guitar that's bigger. The images are small, but the overall is bigger, so might be able to do that. All right, so that's what I got. So thanks for hanging out with me. Sorry it was short but sweet, but we got some things done. And if you guys have any other comments, just shoot me a message. If you're watching this after the fact, feel free to jump by on Thursdays. We'd love to have you. And that's what I got. All right, I'm going to go blow my nose. You guys are the best. I love you. And yeah, I will catch you guys next time. Thanks a lot, man.